Are you keeping up? Are you ready to move on to section 5? Hi everyone, Cristin here, and we are continuing with our Jingle All the Way quilt, and we are going to move on to section 5, and when we complete section 5, we will have the entire left side of the quilt done. How cool is that? Of course, we still have the inner borders, outer borders, backing, binding, embellishments, but we're really making headway. So we finished section 4, which we put it all together. So now we have sections 1, 2, 3, and 4 all done. It's too big to show it all to you, but you've been watching the tutorials and seeing how it's going. And then we also have all of these blocks toward future sections. So we are just doing great. Pretty excited about it. So today I'm thinking we can get 2 blocks done, and they're kind of fun ones, I think. So we're going to do the snow globes. There are 4 snow globes total, but I broke it up into 2 because we can fit 2 in one hooping. So I'm thinking we'll do the 2 gingerbread boy snow globes today, and then another day later we'll do the candy cane and the tree. So don't worry about those for now. For now, let's just work on the gingerbread. There's 2 of the gingerbread snow globes. So in my book, they are on page 9 of the oldest revision of the Jingle All the Way quilt. So page 9, and it's a pretty big packet, but a lot of it is because we have some substitutions. So it really isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and go over these. And like I said, I think they're going to be really fun. So let's just start. So we're going to do 2 of them. So I'm going to go over them separately. So let's call this, I'm going to call it Snow Globe number 3, because there are 4, and the 2 gingerbread ones in the book anyway, they're shown later. They're shown so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to call it gingerbread or Snow Globe number 3. All right, Snow Globe number 3. So our main fabric for the Snow Globe number 3 is the white with swirlies on it. All right, white on white tone fabric with the swirls. Make sure to back this with fusible stabilizer. It will also help you to see the front from the back, and I like to cut it in. I didn't on this one, so I think it was already stabilized. I think I had this one in my stash. So anyway, this is we're going to start with this at 8.5 by 8.5. All right, main fabric 8.5 by 8.5. Make sure to back it with fusible stabilizer for sure. All right, 8.5 by 8.5. This is for Snow Globe number 3 with the white swirly fabric. All right, that's the first one. And then we are going to have within the snow globe, there is also fabric. All right, and so of the first one, that number 3 snow globe, we're going to use the gray with white dots on it fabric. This is for like the background within the snow globe. And we're going to start with this at, let's see, not that one. It's going to be for the snow globe. So 6.5 by 6.5. There's also one of these that is the main fabric. So that's why I was like, oh no, not that one. That's too big. So 6.5 by 6.5. Looks like I need to re-iron mine. It's got a little crinkle in it from the packet. So 6.5 by 6.5. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. This is going to be an applique piece. All right, 6.5 by 6.5. And then for this one, we're still on Snow Globe number 3. The bottom of the snow globe. So there's the globe part and then the little stand part. And that is going to be this green and green with white stripes. All right. And this one, notice it is directional. In the book, it has the stripes actually going this way. That's funny. I would have thought this way. It looks like they're going horizontally. So mine might go this way since it's a pretty big piece. I'm surprised. So 2 by 4, either way, you do you. 2 by 4 for this. And this is the original fabric. I don't remember if she gave me a substitute for this one. Let me just check really quickly. I can say that check. it's going to be the awning stripe. Nope, I'm wrong. The awning stripe is for the zigzag chevron one. This one, you should have received this from our sponsor, from Oma Darlings. There is not a substitute for it. All right, so 2x4. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. And again, it is directional fabric. So you choose if you want your stripes going vertically or horizontally. I'll decide when I get there if it's big enough. It's funny to me that it looks like in the picture it's going horizontally, and yet my cut is not. My cut is definitely going the other way. So it's hard to tell in the photo on here. I'll check it out later. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But anyway, 2x4 for the bottom. It's the stand of the snow globe. All right. And then for your gingerbread, it is going to be this brown lattice fabric. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Brown lattice fabric. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. It's up to you. It is a applique piece. This is for the gingerbread boy, and we want this to be 5x5. All right, 5x5 for the this is going to be the gingerbread, so the brown lattice fabric. 5x5 backed with fusible stabilizer if you choose. And then for the heart on the gingerbread, for this first one, the Snow Globe block number 3, we're going to use this red houndstooth fabric, all right? And I don't have a substitute, so I'm thinking she had this for you, which is interesting because it's been retired for quite a while, so that was pretty nice of her to find this for us. So this one, we are going to have it be 2.5 by 2.5. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. Again, it will be an applique piece, 2.5 by 2.5. That's for the heart on the gingerbread boy on the third snow globe. All right. And then the only other thing, hopefully you can see this since it's still in the package, is going to be the, what's it called? All right, sorry, for the clear vinyl. All right, the clear vinyl. This is a Kimberbell clear vinyl, and we're gonna have this be 6x6. All right, 6x6 for the snow globe covers. All right, so we're gonna do that, and this is the fun part. We're gonna put this on, and I think even while it's stitching, we're gonna fill up our little. We're gonna put some things in our snow globe if you choose. So our sponsor did send us some. I got this package from our sponsor with some little like snow. How cute is that? And then some little, I don't know what you call them, but the little glitter things basically. So that came from our sponsor. So that's pretty cool. Whatever you have that you want to put inside, you could buy like little buttons, little things. They have to be little. And I'm going to show you how to do that, how we're going to do it to make sure that it does not get in the way of our needle. We're going to have to do it very carefully. And I'll show you that when we get there in photos. All right. I'm dropping all my stuff. All right, so the next thing is our batting. So our batting, let's see, our final cut size is 6.5 by 6.5. So that means we want a piece of batting that is 7x7. All right, 7x7 for your batting. All right, and then quilting. Did I go over the quilting? Let's see, hold on one sec. All right, so for the quilting, you want any quilting design that is 6x6, all right? In the little guide that they created for Jingle All the Way, they're suggesting using chevron 2, which is in the Jingle All the Way quilt, what is it? The quilting bundle, the Jingle All the Way quilting bundle, chevron 2. So you can absolutely do that. I'm leaning towards something else, and I haven't decided for sure. I'll decide when I get there, when I look at it on the computer. The snow globe will take up a lot of the block, so chevron 2, plaid, lines, any of those would be good, but I think I'm going to take a quick look at a few others because I think snowflakes would be really fun, and winter 1 I believe has snowflakes. Stars 8, I wrote a little note to myself, stars 8 would be fun. So I'm going to look at a few, but whatever quilting design that you want, like I said, it does say in the guide to use chevron 2, so you could go with the way that Kimberbell did theirs, and whatever quilting design in it, a 6x6 quilting design. All right, so that is for snow globe number 3. So now we're going to move on to snow globe number 4. And for that one, our main fabric is this red chevron, all right? A few different colors of red chevron. That's the original fabric. And we're gonna start with this at 8.5 by 8.5, all right? Backed with fusible stabilizer. Make sure to back your main fabrics always with fusible stabilizer. So 8.5 by 8.5, this is the original fabric. And notice it is directional, but it's a square. So you can lay it down however you choose at the time. So our sponsor, since this is an old retired fabric, our sponsor sent this mini awning, I think it might be called. I'm not absolutely sure, but this one is our replacement. So if you ordered from our sponsor, Oma Darlings, that's what you would have received, and you want it to be 8.5 by 8.5 backed with fusible stabilizer. All right, so that's our main fabric. That's for Snow Globe number 4. So also Snow Globe number 4. So that part that is within the Snow Globe, we are going to use, take this little thread off there, we're going to use the white on white dots. All right, white on white big dots. And this one, what did I say? It's going to be 6.5 by 6.5 for our Snow Globe fabric. This is going to be what it's like the background of the Snow Globe, if that makes sense. So 6.5 by 6.5. I do recommend backing it with fusible stabilizer, because keep in mind that white fabric is going to be on this busy red fabric. So you don't want that bleeding through, or you don't want it to look like a light pink. You want it to look white. So 6.5 by 6.5 backed with fusible stabilizer. That's for the Snow Globe inside of the Snow Globe. All right, for Snow Globe number 4. And then for the stand, we want this black with white dots fabric for this one. So black with white dots, 2 by 4. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. It's not absolutely necessary. I like to do it on my applique pieces. So 2 by 4 for the stand of the fabric stand, the base. That's what it's called, the base. 2 by 4. All right. And then for our gingerbread, again, same as the other one, it's the brown lattice fabric. And I believe we wanted this at 5 by 5. Yep, 5 by 5 for your gingerbread. And I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's up to you. It is an applique piece, 5 by 5. All right. And then the last piece of fabric is for the heart on the gingerbread boy, and the original fabric is this green. It's got the flowers and the dots and so forth. I don't know what it's called, busy fabric. It'd be funny if it tells me. Green dotted circles is what it says on here. Green dotted circles. So you want this to be 2.5 by 2.5. It is for the heart on Snow Globe number 4 on the gingerbread boy. All right, and that's the original. The replacement from our sponsor is the green tufted. So either one of these in 2.5 by 2.5. All right, for the heart on the gingerbread boy in Snow Globe number 4. And then we have that clear vinyl. So the clear vinyl, I believe we said 6 by 6 or 6.5. What was it? 6 by 6 for the clear vinyl. All right. So I like to keep it in the package, because this stuff, you can lose it so easily. You can't see it. So 6 by 6 for your clear vinyl. All right, and then we want our batting, and our batting, just like the other one, is going to be 7 by 7, 7 by 7 for your batting. And then again, for your batting, any 6 by 6 quilting design in the book, it says to use chevron 2, and that is in the Jingle All the Way quilting bundle. I'm gonna look through a few different ones and just see what looks fun to me. I'm thinking the winter one, which is snowflakes, or the stars 8, something fun. I think that would be good, but doesn't matter, because you're not going to see a whole lot of it, because this is that Snow Globe is pretty big on this fabric. It will take up most of it. So either way, a 6 by 6 quilting design. So I'm going to do the, oh, and don't forget, so then you want your the stuff to put inside of your Snow Globe. All right, and like I said, I received this one from our sponsor in the embellishment kit, so that will be fun to try out. So I'm going to put these 2 blocks together in one hooping. I will show you how to do that if you choose. The final cut size was 6.5 by 6.5. So we want a 6 by 6 quilting design. So it would be very, very tight for a 8 by 12 hoop. You could do it, but you'd have to take out some things and possibly even shrink it down. So I'm going to use my 9 by 14 hoop. get those 2 blocks. I think it'll be pretty easy. So I'm going to put them together. I'll show you how to do that if you choose. So I'll bring you over to the computer and show you how to merge them together. Hey everyone, I am at my computer now and I just am fresh from the gym, so excuse this. But we are going to do those 2 gingerbread blocks and put them all in one hooping. And I also want to show you, I was looking through some different quilting designs. So remember that I said that in the guide it says to use chevron 3, I think it was, if I recall. Chevron 2, chevron 2. So you could absolutely do that. I didn't want to do that. I don't know why, but I definitely didn't want to do it. So I was looking at some other options. So I'm going to just show you real quick in case you want to try something different, but chevron 2 will work great too. Just make sure that you're using a 6x6 quilting design. So I'm going to open up Embellishment Essentials and show you what I found. So here's the gingerbread design, and with the Winter 2, I think it was called, for the quilting design. So remember, I was thinking Winter 2, I think, Winter 1, Winter 1 is the snowflakes, and that is in the Jingle All the Way bundle, and I believe, I'm pretty sure. And I thought that would be such a cute idea. Unfortunately, you can't see much snowflakes. You can see this one great, but the others, you really don't see much of them. And so I decided against that. I wanted something more. So I looked at Stars 8 on the Kimberbell website, and I bought that one. And look at, isn't that so cute? I like that. I really like that for the snowflake. I think or for the snow globes. I think that is really cute. So I'm going to go with this. And the 2 gingerbread blocks are in totally different places. So I'm going to do them both with the stars. I think that will be just really cute. I really like that idea. So I want to point out, I did move the quilting design. I believe I rotated it so that I could see more of the stars. So I'll show you that too. We're going to go over it. Oh, my stomach is growling. I hope you can't hear that. But anyway, so real quick, we're just going to join the 2 quilting designs, whatever quilting design you choose. I wanted to show you the stars because I'm pretty happy with it. I think that's really darn cute. And then how to join the gingerbread blocks. So one other thing is, I was looking through the directions, and I've made snow globe blocks for ornaments. I've made them on a shirt. I've made different snow globe blocks. And this one is a little different in that it looks like we're going to put all of the stuffings in the middle of the snow globe and then put the vinyl on and tack it down. And so we're going to have to be pretty careful with that. And I don't think I will feel comfortable doing 2 at once with that. So I'm going to create a stop on that so that we're just doing the stuffing and the vinyl part on one block and then stop and then do the next one so that they're not doing them together, just to give us a little bit of a break to do that. Because I think it would be pretty hard, although you could tape it in place and all that, but you could definitely do it. So it's up to you whether you create that stop or not. I'm pretty sure I'm going to create the stop. In other snow globe blocks that I've done, I've seen where it does most of it, most of the tack down, but leaves an opening and then you stuff it then. And this one, it looks like, and I haven't gotten that far yet, but it looks like we're going to put all the stuff on and then put the vinyl on, and then you would tape it in place and whatever. But to me, it'll be too much to do 2 at the same time. And so I want to create a stop. And so, we just change a thread color for that and it creates a stop. So it will be easy to do. So this was just to show you another option on the quilting design. So like I said, there's Stars 8. It's from the Kimberbell website. Or there's this Winter 1 in vertical so that the snowflakes are coming down. And that's super cute. It's just not enough. I would have liked more snowflakes. So personal choice, whatever quilting design you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File, New Page. and check. The first thing is always to check the size of hoop you're on. So I'm on my 8x8 right now because I wanted to be able to just see that snow globe, but I want 2-in-1 hooping, so I'm going to need my 9x14 hoop for that. So I'm going to go up to this preferences folder and click on my 9x14 hoop, say okay, and then come up to this compass button and click H for hoop. All right, so that's the first step. The next step is to bring in whatever quilting design that you choose. I just downloaded it from Kimberbell. Make sure that you unzip it. If you purchase a quilting design from Kimberbell or from wherever, you always have to unzip it first. So I already unzipped it. So I'm gonna just open this up. This is my stars file that I just got from Kimberbell. And I use Pez, and then you can always come up to this view menu to be able to see them better. But we want the 6x6 quilting design. So I'm just scrolling down, and how did I miss it? There, up 6x6, there's 6x6 stars 8. So drag that, just grab it and drag it over to your workspace, and then we can close that and see there it is right there. So while I'm here, I'm gonna bring in, actually I'm gonna go ahead and change the thread colors first. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna bring in that snowman, and then I'm gonna manipulate the quilting design by rotating it to the best location for the stars. But we want that gingerbread snow globe in first so that we can see what we're working with. So I'm gonna open up this quilting design, and you can see all these default blues and oranges. Those would join together when we do our color sort. So we definitely wanna change those. So I'm going to go to 1-1 in the objects window, and then down here in the properties window, I'm going to click on the color tab and click on the color. And I'm in my palettes for some reason, so I want to go to threads. And then the first color that comes up for me, because I'm on Fil-Tec Glide, so the first color is dark aqua. And it doesn't matter the color, like I always tell you, it's just to be able to determine what joins and what doesn't. So I'm going to say okay. All right, and then 1-2, click on the color, and we want the first color that comes up for me, that is Blaze, and say okay. 1-3, click on the color, and I want the second color down because we already used dark aqua up here. You can see it, so I'm going to choose Marine, the second color down, and say okay. And then 1-4, click on the color, and I'm going to choose Oriole and say okay. And then 1-5. So one of these is on white fabric and one of them is on red fabric. So I definitely want these to be different. I have to think about what I think maybe yellow stars would be cute. I have to think about that. But either way, we want different thread colors here so that they don't join unless you're going to use like white on both of them or gray on both of them. But I want to have that option, so I'm going to choose a different thread color. So I'm going to click on the color. I'm going to choose Sprout for this first one, say okay. All right, now we're only on 1-5. This is what I'm always telling you. Make sure to click outside so nothing is selected, because right now we're just on 1-5. And so we want to have both of them or all of the parts. So all 5 parts to be able to move this. So I'm going to click on the design. If you click up on this top part, it gets all 5 parts. And then I'm going to click my up arrow key on my keyboard, and I'm going to bring this up to the top. All right. So that's the first one. Before let's see, I do want to bring in both of them, and I want to do it before the gingerbread. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the second one. I'm just going to do a copy and paste. I'm pretty sure I rotated it to the right. But I don't recall off the top of my head for sure. I'm pretty sure I rotated it to the right. So I could just do that now, but I'm going to wait and bring in my gingerbread snow globe. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Control C to copy this. And I'm going to say Control V, like victory, on my keyboard to paste it. And it goes right on top of that first one, so we can't really see it. But if we use our arrow keys to bring it down, there goes my stomach. I hope you're not hearing me growling like this. So I'm just bringing it down to the bottom of my keyboard. I'm to the bottom of my workspace so that I have a little bit of space. There will be probably some overlap, so I'll have to watch that, but at least I've got a little bit of space. All right, so those two are done, keeping in mind that I'm very likely going to rotate those stars, the quilting design, but I want to first bring in that snow globe to see what I'm working with. All right, so from here, you can go to the folder that you have it in, or you can go to this Merge Stitch File button, and then you can navigate to where you have, let's see, Jingle All the Way. So wherever you have your design. So mine's on my desktop, so I'm in my desktop, and I want the embroidery designs right there. Embroidery files, Pez is what I use for my machine. Now I want to point this out. That gingerbread snow globe, there are a few of them, so make sure to choose the right one. So the first one that's going to come up right there, that's the 4x4. We don't want that one. We want the 5x7. So we're going to come down a little bit further. And when we do our Christmas tree snow globes, we're not doing those today, but when we do, I want to point out, look at, there's two of them. There's one that says, oh, Christmas tree, and there's one that does not. So we'll have to keep that in mind when we do our snow globes for the tree and candy cane next. We're not doing that today. So here's our 5x7 snow globe with the gingerbread. So I'm going to double click that. It will go to the center. That is really cute. And I'm going to bring it up. So you can do it haphazardly. It doesn't have to be just right, because we're going to do an align and distribute anyway. Look at all those cyans and oranges. So we're going to have to do some color changes. But for now, I want to look at that quilting design. So you can see we've got some pretty good stars. There's 2 full stars that show. There's a little bit too much loopies here. I'd rather have a star on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the quilting design. Make sure you're only getting the quilting design. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate it with this little blue arrow here. I'm going to rotate that and then click outside so that I can see. See, that looks really good. See, we've got more stars showing. You can keep rotating if you think that I remember I rotated one more just to see how that looked, and I ended up liking this way. So that one turn to the right with the blue arrow, I like that. That looks good. So I'm going to go ahead, and while I'm here, I'm going to click on the second design, which is that second quilting design, and I'm going to go ahead and click that right blue arrow so that I can rotate that design as well. All right, so then we've got all of the thread color. So actually, we did that copy and paste, but we didn't change that second thread color. So I want to make sure to do that. So this is 2-5, because remember I was saying one of these fabrics is white and one of them is on red fabric. And so I want a stop so that it doesn't automatically start doing both the quilting designs. I want a stop to be able to change my thread color. So on 2-5, click on the color, and I'm just going to change it to the second color down, which for me is sea green, and say okay. That creates that stop. All right, click outside so that nothing is selected. Click within your workspace, whatever. All right, so now let's see. We want to go ahead and change these colors on that first gingerbread snow globe before we create the second one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close up 1 and 2 just so I can see everything really well. And I'm going to work on 3. So design 3 is our snow globe right there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start on this first one. So I'm going to run through these steps too, because remember, I want to have a stop before that vinyl. I want it to not copy and paste to the second one, and we won't do it on that first one, but on the second one, we will make that change, just like how we made the change on that second quilting design to be able to get a different color. All right, so all these cyans and oranges, if we did a color sort right now, it's going to join all these parts, and you'd have to put everything down at once. And of course, that's not what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and just change these colors. Looks like we also have a red, brown, a neon red, white, black, ocean green. Oh, that's that vinyl probably. Now that's good. So it looks like it's at the end. All right, so the cyans and oranges are the only ones that we really need to change. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this first one. It's the placement stitch for the stand. Is that what it's called? Let's see, the snow globe base. All right. So 3-1, click on the color down here in the properties window, and I'm going to change it to not the first color because we already have marine in our quilting design. So I'm going to choose the next color down. So Hawaiian blue is what I'm going for. All right. And then 3-2, click on the color, and I'm going to choose Halloween because we haven't used that yet. And 3-3, click on the color. There's the placement stitch. That's for the fabric underneath our snow globe vinyl. So that's one thing too, is I was thinking, oh, we're going to need to change it so that the quilting design doesn't go within the snow globe, and we don't need to, because Kimberbell was so smart. They made it so that we have a different thread, we have a different fabric color inside of our snow globe. So the quilting is not going to go inside of our snow globe. I thought that was pretty ingenious personally. All right, so 3-3, click on the color down here, and we already used Marine and Hawaiian Blue, so I'm going to use the third color down for me as Mercury and say okay. All right, and then 3-4, click on the color. We already used Halloween. I'm going to use Butterscotch. 3-5, click on the color, and I'm going to come down to the fourth one, which for me is Tropical. And then 3-6, click on the color, and I'm going to use Bronze. And then 3-7, click on the color, and what did we use last? We used Tropical, so I'm going to use Robin Egg. And then 3-8, click on the color, and our last one was Bronze, so I'm going to use Biscotti. All right, you can always see your colors up here. And then we go into the satin stitch, detail stitch of all of the parts of the gingerbread. So those can join, because, so actually we have to think about that. I just realized the base color on one is green, on the other is black. And the snow globe color, one of them is gray, one of them is white. And then the heart on the gingerbread, one of them is red and white, and one of them is green. So actually we're going to want these to be different too. So the black is fine. We don't need to worry about that. The brown is fine. This red heart, I'm going to keep it red on this one, but on the second one, we'll need to change it so that they don't join. And then the white, this is a detail stitch over the top of it. I'm going to go ahead and keep the white on both of them probably. I don't know if it will join because we've got, this will be different. And then the base, so one of them is going to be green, one of them's black, so I will change that on the second one as well. And then here is that placement stitch for the vinyl and the tack down stitch of the vinyl. It's actually a satin stitch, it looks like. So let's see, we have the base, there's the placement and tack down of the snow globe fabric. So this is going to be the vinyl. So vinyl and then the satin stitch around it. So the satin stitch on one of them will probably be gray and the other one white. Not necessarily. You can choose whatever color, but we may want to create a stop there so we can decide at that time. All right, so all I changed at this point is the placement and tack down stitches for the appliques, but we are going to want to make some changes on the second one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this number 3, and I'm going to click on the whole design, number 3, and I'm going to say Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to say Control V like victory to paste it. And it goes right on top of that first one. I'm going to use my arrow keys to move it just to make sure I'm only getting this snow globe. Or you can just grab it, but make sure you're just getting the snow globe. And it doesn't have to be just right, because we will do an align and distribute. But while we're here, we want to make sure to get these colors right. So all of the placement and tack downs, we're going to keep those because we want those to join so that we're doing them all at once, saving time. That black face, that's fine. The details of the face, the gingerbread boy is totally fine. This one we want to change. So one of them is going to be red, one of them is going to be green. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. So I'm on 411. I'm going to click on the color and I'm going to change it to a green. Doesn't matter what color as long as we haven't used it previously. So I'm going to choose turf and say okay. And then this white, I think I'll probably do the top stitch white on both of them. Very likely. I'm going to keep that. If you want to change it so that they're different, you can do that. I'm going to keep it. So 413, I definitely want to change this. And we may need to reorder steps since we are, some things will join and some won't. So we'll just check it in a moment. So 413, I'm going to click on the color, and I don't want the same color as this one. I do want it to stop. So I'm going to use the second color down. Actually, the first one, shadow. We haven't used shadow. I'm going to change it to shadow and say okay. All right, and then we have the placement stitch for the Oh, it must be a tack down stitch, actually. It must be a tack down because we're going to need a tack down and trim. So I'm going to change this because this is the one I was saying. To me, it'll be a little stressful to get them both at the same time. So I'm going to change the color on this, and I don't think we'll need to worry about the satin stitch because we will have already trimmed and all of our parts will be enclosed at this point. But this 414, I want to work on one snow globe and then work on the second one. So I am going to change this one. So I'm going to use Battleship. All right, so a little different than the first one. And then we have the satin stitch of the snow globe. And again, one of them's gray and one of them's white. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and change this too, just to make sure to have that stop. So I'm going to click on 415, click on the color, and I'm going to choose medium gray instead of Woolcomb gray. All right, so those are done. We do need to do an align and distribute, and we need to do a color sort and then check it, because my guess is the color sort parts that we want to join will not because of how they're ordered. So anyway, let's start. I'm going to close this number 4. I'm going to click on number 1, the quilting design number 1, and then I'm going to hold down the control button on my keyboard and click on number 3 so that I can do an align and distribute. Go to utility, align and distribute, and I'm going to say center, center, apply, and we'll just watch if this moves much. All right, move down and to the right just a bit. All right, so that one's great. We know for sure that that is aligned within the quilting design. Now we're going to click on number 2 quilting design, click the control button, hold it down while we click on number 4 and go to utility, align and distribute, center, center, apply, and we'll watch this guy move. All right, and he moved over to the right. All right, so now those are aligned and distributed within the quilting design, so that's perfect. Let's see, so we need to do our color sort. My head is in the way. Let's see, we have 40 color steps right now. We did stop the vinyl. I wanted to do that, and we changed the colors of the heart and the base so that those won't join. I think we're ready. So let's go ahead and do a color sort. My guess is we'll have to do it twice, but let's just check it. So right now we have 40 color steps and 4 designs. I'm going to go to utility color sort. Thinks. It says it's reduced it by 15 color changes. Don't forget, you want to have these same settings that I have so that you get the same results. Click new view so that we can check what it did. It opens a new tab. Now everything is in one design. So let's go ahead and open up that one design and see if it did what we want it to do. So there is our placement for our batting, our tack down for our batting, our oh, my dog is snoring. I thought it was the wind. It's my dog snoring. How cute. All right, sorry. 1-3, that is the placement for the main fabric and the tack down for the main fabric. And then we have the first quilting design and the second quilting design so that you have an option of changing your thread colors. I don't know. I might do gray on both of them. I might do a yellow. That one on white, I think it'd be fun to see it. All right, so that's 1-6. Now 1-7, that is the placement stitch for that base, and then the tack down stitch for the base. So those did join exactly how we wanted them to. And then we have the placement stitch for the snow globe fabric on both of them. That's good. And then 110 is the tack down of the snow globe fabric. That's just the fabric, not the vinyl. The vinyl is going to be at the end. So that is the fabric that's within the snow globe. All right, and then 111 is the placement stitch for the hearts. We're going to have 2 of those. And then 112 is the tack down stitch of the heart. There goes my tummy again. And then 113, that must be, oh, that, let me see. That looks like it is the, it can't be. What is that? Oh, I'm wrong. So I'm sorry, my mistake. So let's go back here. There's the placement stitch for our snow globe fabric. This one, I think it's the gingerbread boys. It must be the gingerbread boys. It looks like this is a little short though. It's got to be the gingerbread boys. All right, so that's the placement stitch for our gingerbread boy, our tack down stitch for our gingerbread boys, and then the placement stitch for the hearts and the tack down stitch for the hearts. Okay, that's good. And then we have the placement stitch for, oh, you know what? It looks like it joined the face. Let me see here. All right, so that is the face with the base because of the black. So I don't want that. I don't want those to join. Let me think. So that first one, yeah, because actually our base is green. It's not black. So that first one. So I'm going to go back to that first tab and change the color of that tack down. Was it the tack down? There's the heart. It must be the placement stitch for, there's the gingerbread. So I think that black is a problem. I'm going to go back to this untitled, the first tab that we have. Mine is untitled 5, but for you it's probably untitled 1. And then I'm going to open up this, yeah, it's black. So we'll come 5 black. There must be another black. Let's see. Oh, right there. So that's what happened is that you can see here it's got the Wilcom 13 black face and then also for that satin stitch of the base. And I don't want those joined together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just change, let's see. It's doing the satin stitch. I thought we did change it to green. Oh, that was the heart. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. So I'm on 313. I'm going to change it. I'm going to click down here in the colors and I'm going to change it to a color I know we haven't used before. I'm going to choose Totem Green. Oh, can you hear my tummy? I'm so hungry. All right, Totem Green and say okay so that it won't join with that face. I don't want the face to join. All right, so that should be good. Let's just go ahead and do another color sort. It will open another tab. So I'm going to go to File, not File, what is it? Utility. There we go. Utility color sort. Thinks, and it's reduced it by 14 now instead of the 15. Click New View. It opens another tab. That's why it's so nice to always have these new the tab open up so that you can go back if there's something that isn't quite how you want it. All right, placement and tack down of the batting, placement, tack down of the main fabric, quilting design. The base, that is the placement stitch for the base fabric, the tack down stitch for the base fabric, the placement stitch for the snow globe fabric. I'm on 1-9, and then the tack down stitch of the snow globe fabric, the placement stitch of the gingerbread boys, the tack down of the gingerbreads, and then the placement for the heart, tack down for the hearts. This is on 14. And then we have, it's jumping right to the face, which is fine. We can do the face, the little gingerbread faces, and those are joined together now. So that's perfect because before it wasn't because we had that little mistake of the base. All right, and then we're on 16. That is the gingerbread body on both of them. That's perfect. Then we have the first heart, and then the second heart is down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up so it does one heart and then the second heart, even though they're going to be separated, because then we can join this 15 because it's going to, well, I don't remember if we separated that. So either way, I'm going to move the hearts up. I want it to do the hearts at the same time. So I've got 117 and 122. I'm going to click on 122. If you click on the picture, you'll be able to move it up. So you just kind of bring it over to the left and move it up. So I've got the red heart and then the green heart, and then we have the quilting design on one of them. And we can bring that quilting design, not quilting, the detail stitch. I'm going to bring that up as well. So 119, and then right now it is 123. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to bring it up so that they're doing the same things at the same time. So there's the heart detail and the heart detail. And if we do another color sort, it should join those. And then we have the satin stitch of that base. Oh, my tummy, excuse me. There's the first base. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the second base up, even though they're not the same time. Like I said, I just want them doing all the same parts at the same time. So I'm going to click that. It's 124 and I'm bringing it up. I didn't get it all the way up. So from there, I'm going to just right click on it and say move earlier. So then I have the first base and the second base. Those are the satin stitches. And then we have the placement stitch for the vinyl. I don't think it's a placement stitch. I think it's a tack down stitch. And remember, we separated those on purpose so that we have time to be able to work on one at a time. So it's going to do the satin stitch. I don't want it to do that. I want it to do both of the tack down stitches of the vinyl, but even though they're going to be separated, I do want them to do it at the same time. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to just right click on it and say move earlier, so that we have the base, and then the placement tack down for the vinyl, the tack down for the second vinyl, and then we have the first satin stitch and the second satin stitch. So that's way better. That's exactly the order I want them to do everything. And I think we can get it down by one more because of this white. You don't have to, of course, you can just hit the go button on your machine, but why not, right? So we've got 26 color steps right now. It says 25 of 26. Why is that? Well, that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another utility color sort. Let's see, utility color sort. Thinks, and it says it has been sorted but not reduced. So let's just see what happens if we have 26 or if we have 25. Click new view and we're down to 25. That's what I thought would happen. All right, so we shouldn't have to check these again because we just made a couple of minor changes. We should be good. I'm just gonna peek just to be sure. Good. That's our hearts. Tack down, and then the faces, the gingerbread boy, the one satin stitch of the heart, the second one, and then there's our detail stitches on both of them. So don't forget that if you want it to be a different color, I'm thinking white on top of those, both of those would be cute. But you would just not, you would change the color of it or not move it, whatever works for you. All right, and then there's the satin stitch of both bases and the placement for the vinyl and the satin stitch. So we're good. That was easy, actually. Super cute. I have an absolute obsession with gingerbread. I love gingerbread. It is my favorite dessert for sure. With strawberry shortcake coming in close second, but gingerbread, I love it. But I'm also a gingerbread snob. Once you make something homemade, when you get something from somewhere else, you're like, no. In fact, my husband and I bought a package of gingerbread cookies from Costco yesterday, and we both had one. They're these little cookies. We ate one, and both of us went, no. That's a no. So I'm a little bit of a gingerbread snob, but I really love gingerbread. So this worked out great. 2 blocks and 1 hooping with the necessary changes for comfort. And then we have our 25 color steps. So I'm going to save it. File, save stitch file as. Make sure to always say as. All right. And I'm going to send it to Jingle All the Way, embroidery files, Pez, and I'm on VP3. Let's change that to Pez. And then I'm going to name this Gingerbread Snow Globe ×2. Gingerbread Snow Globe ×2. Save. Now, this is what I was thinking. The other day, someone was asking where it saves. You have to tell it where to save. So I started in my Jingle All the Way quilting block that's on my desktop. So you have to tell it, like if you have it on your D drive, you would go there and you just navigate to wherever you want to save it. I like to save it in my Jingle All the Way quilting designs and in the embroidery files, Pez. So I have mine exactly where I want it. You have to just tell it where you want to save it. You could always save it to your desktop too, or save it to your USB drive, whatever works for you. So let's see, save, done. All right, and then if you have a Wi-Fi ready machine, you can send it to your machine. Utility send to Solaris XP1, say okay. If you don't have that option, you would just send it to a USB stick and bring it over to your machine. Either way, file sent to machine, so we're ready for playtime. All right, let's get stitching. shirt today. This is a fun one. So I made this, I believe it was last year when we made So Happy, the quilt. So the Oh So Delightful quilt was called So Happy, I believe. So I made this. This is, I believe it's designs by Juju, the motif sewing machine. How fun is that? And then I added the wording, and I used like a little envelope design to have it move a little bit, like see how it's kind of, so I thought that was really fun. It is a cute shirt. The shirt, I don't remember, I think it's from Fred Meyer, but I have several sweaters in my Amazon storefront that I've been telling you about, especially ones with the side designs, since a lot of people like doing those side designs now. So look through my Amazon storefront. I'll add a link here. Check there for various sweaters, the stabilizers that I recommend, all the information in my Amazon storefront. And how are you doing with your goal? So we finished the challenge, the gym challenge. It was an 8-week challenge. We finished that yesterday. And so last night I gave myself the night off. I ate some junk food. I didn't do a workout. We did go for a walk, like a 1.5 mile walk, but nothing like super hard. Just took a day off and enjoyed that. So that was really nice. And so today I didn't have time to go to the gym. So I did 2 workouts at home on my Nordic Track bicycle. And oh my gosh, I finished this one series that I've been working on, and it was a killer workout. Like, I did 2 rides, and I think the total was a little more than 20 miles, and with like over 2,100 feet of climbing, like climb, and just working it. And I stood up on the bike a lot to be able to get my heart rate up even higher, and I worked it really hard, and I was really proud of myself. I actually burned 946 calories. How cool is that? I was pretty excited about that. So I haven't had dinner yet. I'm excited to use some of those calories. I'm pretty hungry. But so even though the challenge ended, I am still working it. Definitely, I have 7.8 pounds to lose that I still want to lose to get to my goal. So I've lost 9.4 pounds so far. I'm very happy with that. My clothes fit really comfortably. I'm very happy with it. So I'm definitely working that part of my goal. I am also working on my goal of doing projects in between doing Jingle All the Way to slow me down so that people aren't freaking out that I'm going too fast, and also just to get myself caught up with, there's so many projects that we always have that we want to do. So I've been working on various things. I will add a photo. There's this one that I'm working on that I can't wait to show you. It's super cute. It's not totally done yet though. So anyway, working on definitely stuff in between, and I bought several new shirts that I will add to my Amazon storefront, shirts and sweaters that to be able to make fun things out of. So as I do those, I will add them to my Amazon storefront, but definitely working my goal and pretty proud of it. I document everything that I eat. I document it. I get massive workouts. I'm drinking all my water. I do my best to try to get sleep. I don't do very well at that, but I try. So I'm definitely working my goals. I want to hear how you're doing with your goal. I saw a lot of people are catching up or keeping up with this project and working on things in between, doing filing, getting their craft room all organized. I'm loving seeing how the progress that you guys are doing with your goal.